thing. Wait for the live thing.
Hey, we're live.
Hey, maybe you're pooping right
now. Welcome to Character Crunch, episode 154. My name is David Moore. Joining me is my best friend, electrical engineer by day, Jeff Daly by night. Jeff Daly.
Yep. But when I'm an electrical engineer, they call me Johnny Casino.
Joining us also from the Generational Gamers podcast and the upcoming Forget Being Cool show, Johnny _Casino, my man on the internet.
You have the same name as me.
Oh, that's awkward, man.
He's got an underscore.
Well, but now, Jeff, are you his man on the internet?
No.
I'm his man in real life.
Yeah.
Ah. This is like a Clash of Clans here.
No, we don't talk about that terrible mobile game. We're here for everything that is good and geeky and nerdy related. Of course, we hang out. It's really friends just hanging out, guys. That's what this show is. This show is entirely supported by our amazing patrons over at patreon.com/dacespace. You can be like Josh Miller, who speedruns games on Twitch at a big FN Eagle all the time. I don't know. He doesn't have a real schedule.
Single all the time?
But we love you, Josh, for supporting this show and making it possible. Jeff, how have you been?
I've been doing good. How have you been?
I don't know, dude. We missed a show. It's my fault. We can blame me.
It's half my fault, too, because I had to reschedule on Wednesday. It was the ladies' and I's 2-year anniversary. And I think she would have been upset if I did a podcast that day.
You got prioritized.
Yeah, Jeff.
Okay, wait, hold on a second. As a married man, I've been married for... And this is your 2-year dating anniversary?
Yes.
Right? And Character Crunch has been going on 154 episodes?
Yes, but not all.
I've been on it just as long as I've been dating this girl.
But which one means more to you?
Character Crunch.
Well played.
That's great.
This whole podcast.
So wait. Let's actually clarify that, Jeff. I think you were with her before the show, before you and I were doing this show. It hasn't always been you.
I didn't do this podcast when I was in college. Did I?
No.
Okay, so I started dating this girl right after I graduated in May. I think I started Character Crunch in June.
I like how you say this girl.
This girl.
It's like you're talking about a girl that no one's met before. It's just this girl.
She doesn't make a lot of appearances on this show. The only thing we know about Candace, guys, spoiler, her name's Candace. Shout out to Candace. Is that she records these wonderful, she does these like diet things.
Oh, and she puts that?
And I don't know, is she still doing those? I don't know. But I've seen these videos on Facebook where she'd be like, we have to be quiet because Jeff's recording his podcast upstairs. But we've got this really great food. And like she'll be going through the food in the fridge and like talking about on the this is the closest thing to the content that she produces online. It's all on Facebook. Mm-hmm. Not on the Facebook Character Crunch page though.
And it's all about food that's in your fridge?
Yes.
Diet food and stuff. I don't know.
What is happening?
I don't know what to think about this.
You don't.
What is happening?
I don't know. Okay, Jeff. So it's been a while. There's been a couple things that happened. Right?
Yeah.
Now let's address something. One, welcome, John. John, welcome to the show. Number 2,
what's up, man? I've been here before.
Have you been on this show before?
I can't remember.
Yeah. When you weren't here, Dave. We're talking about each other's bananas.
That's right.
And how big our hands are.
Why did I let that happen? John, thank you for filling in for me on this show.
My God, hold on a second. I hate to interrupt, kind of.
Yeah.
I look over and there's Jeff chugging a 2-liter bottle of soda.
The pop.
Not like a glass of it or a can or a 2-liter bottle. Just like, and Jeff, you look like you're probably a decent sized guy, right? So it's almost like a fitting size with that giant beard you got going on. But wow, that caught me off guard.
I'm too lazy to put it in the glasses. I won't drink. I will drink a little bit of it, but I didn't want to put it in a glass because this show is more important than glasses.
Yeah, he would have had to get a cup and ice. These are things that we.
And when I would have had to do the dishes.
Doing dishes is the worst. So, Jeff, there's been a long thing running on this show.
Yeah.
There's been a long running joke about a thing that you've been telling me to do. And if you listen to John and I's show, Sheldon Forgotten, soon to be Forget Being Cool, John recommended a movie, and I immediately went out and watched it.
Don't get me wrong, but I heard about it. And I was like, if he listens to that movie before he watches my movie, I'll be pretty upset.
So this just goes to show that man on the trumps man in real life.
Yeah, apparently, yeah. But so this movie that you've been wanting me to watch, I think came up pretty early on you joining the show, which means it's almost been 100 episodes in the making. Maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
Wait, what's the movie?
Kubo and the Two Strings.
Oh, wait. He's been telling you to watch that movie for that long?
Since it came out in August of 2016.
Movie was that old?
Yeah, that's why it's on Netflix now, right? So, and then it's been on Netflix for a while. So I've had no excuses at all. But so pretty much every week I pick up and Jeff's like, "Did you watch it?" Like, no, I didn't watch it. But John, you give me a movie and I go, "Yep, I'm going to watch this week." So part of that's because it's the nature of our show. It's kind of required for me to watch or play something that we hadn't. So
what's the nature of our show then? Talk about things. Their characters.
Talking about character development and things. So we're going to finally talk and address the fact that I've seen Kubo and the Two Strings. But before
I watched
that,
Lost and Dave didn't watch Breaking Bad.
Or about Breaking Bad. It's not that great.
Thanks, John.
Well, John, you're wrong.
The worst thing.
They have a whole episode about watching a fly fly around a room. Come on now.
Guess what? Everybody else disagrees with you.
No, that's true. That's true because it is cool to think that show is good when it's terrible.
It is not terrible. It's great.
So, but we got to all play something this week. Finally, that people were screaming was going to be terrible. A game that we all, from the moment we thought it was Rock'em Sock'em Robots, turned out to not be Rock'em Sock'em Robots. And then turned out to be probably the most blandly named game for what it is ever. And it's ARMS, the Armed Extendable Fighting Game. Right? That's what they refer to it as. ARMS Global Test Punch. Jeff?
That's such a weird name. Why did they name it Global Test Punch? Not like, what did I say before? What did I say before that sounded way better than Global Test Punch?
I don't remember. It's been too long. It's been too many weeks.
Wrong.
Ask our listener, John. John listens.
What's the question?
See, he doesn't listen.
He's not even listening now. So, Jeff, here's the first thing I want to address about this. You played it. What did you think? And you were playing it in handheld. And I don't quite understand that.
What's wrong with playing it in handheld?
John, can we address this?
I too would have been playing it in handheld if I could have.
Yeah, sure.
No, I'm not saying that. Okay, so how the hell can you do that? And what it should be is they've made a machine capable of doing that well.
What did you think of it, Jeff? This has been dying. I've been dying to get your actual opinion of this.
I hate it. No, I'm just kidding. I liked it a decent amount. I'm gonna say it's gonna be
that was bland statement for like pleasure from this game.
It was pretty decent. It was on a scale of 1 to 10. It was about a decent. No, it reminds me of Pokemon Tournament. You know, I mean, it's pretty.
That's not a compliment.
It's a fun online game. Okay.
So
is there going to be like a story mode attached to it, or is it just going to be all online?
It's going to be mostly online. There's a Grand Prix mode, just like Mario Kart, where you can unlock more arms and more stuff. Right?
Yeah.
It's launching with the 10 characters. There's 2 more that I think we get to play with next week. But it's, I went in skeptical, thinking it was going to be okay. But it wasn't going to blow me away. But I've come around to the point now where I've played it enough to go, I would really like to play it more. After 2 test punches.
I didn't play it as much as I wanted to play it. But
so are you going to buy it? That's the real question.
Well, it's either I buy it now on Amazon and get like 25% off, or buy it 2 years from now at full price.
Because it's a Nintendo game. John?
I might buy it if you guys buy it.
How are you feeling about ARMS?
I had a great time. I already had it pre-ordered. Like whenever they did the Switch announcement, and there was like 3 or 4 games you could pre-order at that moment, with the exception of 1-2 Switch, which no way I'm ever going near that. I pre-ordered all the other games. I already had this pre-ordered. They did this global test punch because it gave me a chance to see it, and if it had been terrible, I would have canceled my pre-order. But they had to know it was good to do something like this. Like they would be like, oh, here's 12 hours so that you can see how bad it is and cancel your pre-orders, right? Excited. I had a great time. I played 5 of the 6 times.
Wow.
Play all 6 next weekend. So
next week,
basketball.
Yeah, we can play the basketball mode in the next test punch.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Which is dunking your opponents, which I think is actually going to be less fun. I'm going to say this now. I think it's going to be less fun than it sounds.
I don't know, man. Have you seen the videos where like some people slam people down, other ones will characters will actually pick up and throw. So there's people like making like 3-point shots.
I'm hesitant that it will become like this back and forth of like, I'm going to block, then I'm going to try to grab, and I'm going to block, and then I'm going to try to grab. And it's just going to be that kind of like back and forth. Like it's not, nobody's getting grabbed, like 2 people, like, and it becomes kind of like stale, and it'll get kind of boring. If 2 people are too good to not get grabbed. It'll depend on how many people are in the arena too. Like, so if it's 2 on 2, it will be easier to get grabbed, therefore it will be fun. Right? But if it's go ahead.
You should take a sound clip of this entire conversation that Dave's having, Johnny. If people get grabbed, so there's some people who won't get grabbed, but some people will get grabbed. If it's on 2 on 2, it'll be fun.
Oh, don't worry. I'm recording over here. I can pull anything I want from this recording.
I think it sounds pretty fun, but it sounds like just a novelty type game mode.
I like the volleyball a lot. Unlike some people. I think the volleyball mode might be my favorite mode.
I would never say it's like favorite, but definitely good. And there's definitely like ways you could see like how skill would be used in it. Where it's like, okay, if you hit with both hands and immediately hit afterwards, it sends the ball spinning real quick and you can slam it. And if you could work that with your partner, you could be unstoppable and someone else that you can play with consistently.
I'm worried about the basketball mode. I'm just going to throw it out there. I really am. I want to play it. I'm excited to try it.
Yeah.
but I don't think it's going to be as fun as the volleyball mode.
Mm-hmm.
I also think
find out in a few days.
They should add more modes as the game goes on.
Yeah,
well, they said there's going to be like free updates happening.
Right. But I hope those include modes.
It sounds to me like it's going to be like a kind of like a Rocket League. They release some paid for like fighters and stuff, but they'll release all the game mode and all that game content for free.
How would a soccer game be?
What?
Within arms. Like if they were to make like a soccer based, like basically.
If the game's called arms, not feet.
That's the irony in it, John. They'll call it football. No. They'll call it football.
Mm-hmm.
And that and it'll be funny.
They'll call it arms ball.
Yeah.
You could do maybe a dodgeball game. Almost the only other sport you could do.
Like a dodgeball game where there's balls in the middle and you hit them and then you try to hit them into the other people like across the arena?
Can't you do something like
or you could grab and throw them?
Futurama Blurn Ball or something like that? You remember that?
No.
Where Leela was like the worst Blurns ball player of all time, and it was just like baseball, but like the ball is attached to a string and stuff.
Baseball doesn't work in this game. I think basically Rocket League makes the most sense.
That's Blurns ball.
Rocket League could be cool.
Rocket League?
Basically Rocket League, which is soccer. Essentially, it's car soccer, but it would be with dudes with arms.
How'd that work?
Jeff played handheld.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty fun.
I played
the first couple games. I didn't know what I was doing, so I got destroyed, but I figured it out.
John, you went straight to the Pro Controller, right?
No, I played the first hour and a half that I played handheld, or what? Not handheld, was in motion controls, and then I realized that I could just turn on my Pro Controller and do that. I like the Pro Controller, but my favorite thing dealing with controls was watching you play it with motion controls.
How was that with motion controls?
I played it both ways. I think I'll always play it both ways.
I mean,
does that make sense? Like, so in the event that other people will be willing to play with motion controls, I think I would be happy to play motion controls because it's exhilarating.
So what you're saying, you want to play both ways as long as you can find other people who also swing that way?
Yeah.
Okay.
For patrons,
motion controls is okay as long as everybody's handicapped with motion controls.
Here's the thing with motion controls is like aiming the punches and making the punches curve. I think the motion controls work. Because you can punch with two hands and curve them individually. Whereas when you're playing with the Pro Controller, you throw the punch and then you either with tilting the controller or tilting the L stick. But if you throw two punches one after another, you're going to be controlling them both the same way.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the motion, the movement, like moving your character around is terrible.
Right. My biggest issue with the controls overall on both schemes of control is blocking.
Mm-hmm.
I think blocking is bad no matter which way you're playing. I think that's my biggest issue with the controls of the game.
Blocking is weird.
Yeah, because to block you have to press L3 if you're using a Pro Controller, and to block you need to bring the Joy-Cons in, but bringing them in creates a whole another mess of like I need to also be able to punch and move.
Blocking in the Switch wasn't too bad. Blocking handheld wasn't too bad. I didn't have a problem with that.
That's interesting. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it in every way. I'm definitely gonna play with motion controls.
Yeah.
And if I can get streaming up, Sean, I'll get streaming up.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to if we ran
the fact that the fact that we're sitting there, I think at the time it was just you, me, and Sean that were on the Skype call, and Sean just looks over. It's like, "What are you doing, Dave?" and then it hit him, you were playing the same game he was, just in a very different way. Like, Dave, you had both hands over your head swinging. I don't know what you were doing. It was like you had two giant speed bags above you that you were trying to work out on.
It's weird. It's weird because the way that I play with motion controls, right, is probably the way that people who get really excited about motion controls play.
Mhm.
But there's this other weird thing that happens that when you grab somebody, you feel it necessary to lift your arms up and then slam them back down.
Mm-hmm.
This is
even though
true.
you don't have to, but when you're playing that way, it's what feels good. It's exhilarating and fun, and I'm always going to play that way if I can.
Motion controls?
Yeah. I think I've come to the motion controls are my favorite way to play. I don't like the
Can you
movement.
imagine just somebody looking into your window and you're just like flailing your arms
Okay,
around?
all right, let's address that. We all played iToy.
Mm-hmm.
People remember iToy?
Yeah.
Wait,
You
why are
remember
people
washing
staring
windows?
in Dave's window?
Who doesn't look in Dave's window?
That's true. I would be staring in Dave's window.
I don't know how to feel about this, but
And if we
sure.
stared in Jeff's window right now, we'd see him eating a steak in his hand.
Yeah. Right.
A good steak.
It is a delicious steak, yes.
Is it moist?
It is a handheld steak. It is very moist. It is so juicy right now.
Nobody has that context, John, but it's all right.
I put it in my mouth and a little bit of juice comes out.
I think we did change this show's explicit tag. All right.
Are you okay, Johnny?
That's that's the food segment you were looking for, Dave. That's
I have
the food
more than
segment.
enough to share.
Oh God. Oh.
Okay. To move on, there's one big piece of news I think that came out. Actually, there's two. There's two big pieces of news that are relevant for this show to talk about this week.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder Woman is getting decent reviews.
It's getting good reviews, I heard.
I like to use decent, Jeff, because that's the way you refer to arms on a 1 to 10 scale. It's decent.
Yeah, but you haven't seen Wonder Woman.
You see, you have to look at it from my point of view. Arms was fun, but I'm like a storyline driven player. I like games with great storylines.
Well, okay.
I don't play games for multiplayer. I play them for good storylines.
So do we think that Wonder Woman will have a good enough storyline to make it worth going to, Jeff? So it's reviewing well.
Games.
Well, yes, but let's address this movie here for the sake of it. So don't like arms because there's no story at all.
I mean, I play it with friends. It's still fun to play with friends.
Okay, that's important.
It's actually getting pretty good reviews.
Is this Jeff and John? Where are you guys in this DC movie?
It's official. They banned it in Lebanon, though.
Well, in that case, I have to see it.
Wearing
a Lebanese flag.
Is this enough to make you forgive them enough to go see this?
Well, it's a very different thing, though, right? So like my problems with DC movies, other people, and also like we know we have people in this community who love Batman and Robin, love Batman versus Superman. They're wrong, but we know that they're out there.
Man, have you ever watched movies before?
we'll just say that the one person in mind that I have also has some other opinions I highly disagree with.
Don't worry, he doesn't listen.
Like, is he also like a flat Earth guy? Do you think the Earth's flat?
He is that, and he's a Scientologist. It's really strange.
For the one person who knows who that person is.
So like to me, all these things, like I separate Batman from Superman from Wonder Woman, which is good because I've never enjoyed Superman. In general, I'm not a Superman fan. I don't like the character. I just don't like Superman. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Batman, I love the character. I have not liked the movies in a long time. So with Wonder Woman, it's a whole different thing to me.
Yeah.
I don't want to see the Justice League Batflick or whatever they're calling Ben Affleck as Batman. I don't want to see Superman. I don't want to see the two Martha lovers, right? But if it's just Wonder Woman, I can completely.
Have you bonded with somebody over that you share the same name, like that your moms share the same name?
Well, you also needed the woman in distress to come explain it to why it mattered. Out of nowhere, she needed to run in and explain.
I mean, that's like what happens to me on every other day.
Yeah,
I run into people and they're like, my mom's name is Kathy. And I'm like, my mom's name is Kathy. And we become best friends.
I have two aunts named Kathy.
You and I are best friends now. and we can stop fighting.
I just don't.
Dave has to explain it to us first, though.
Yeah, I am. Somebody has to run and explain it so that you guys don't kill each other.
Dave, can you be our woman in this one? I mean, just for the time being.
As long as you get to remain my man on the internet.
Let me hear you talk to a woman's voice really quick.
I don't think.
Oh, Batman!
Over that.
Batman!
I don't think Suicide Squad and good reviews for Wonder Woman are enough of an excuse to go to this movie and pay money to see it.
What does Suicide Squad have to do with it?
I just think they haven't proven themselves worthy of my movie-going money.
It's worth $5 because there's a theater down the street from me that has $5 Tuesdays. I just saw Baywatch last night for $5.
Didn't you both see Baywatch? Can you please tell me about this movie, both of you? Because I want to.
Wait. I haven't seen Baywatch.
Why do I talked to somebody who saw it and had an opinion of it.
I mean, I can understand why someone would think that I've seen it. I've seen much of the TV show. Is there a slow motion beach running scene in this movie?
Oh yeah, and they make fun of it. Why are they all running in slow motion? You see it too? I don't know. Like there's a couple scenes, and one of them, the girl is like walking in slow motion, and everybody else around her was just walking like regular speed.
Okay,
so wait, so now it's self-aware of what's wrong with the idea of Baywatch. I'm very confused.
I don't like that. I don't want a Baywatch movie where they're making fun of themselves. I want a Baywatch movie that tries to be Baywatch. If I want to see them make fun of themselves, I'd watch Son of the Beach, which if you've never seen Son of the Beach, you're missing out. You've got to go watch that show.
Is that a porno?
Son of the Beach does not sound right, John.
Son of the Beach was a or FX show or something like that back in the day. It's decently old. The main guy, I cannot think of what his name is now. He does not look like a lifeguard. But his character's name was his character's name was Notch Johnson.
Notch Johnson. Okay, now this is borderline.
No, this is a slapstick comedy, like make fun of Baywatch. They understand what they're doing show, and it's hilarious. That show is what taught me what a. But it shouldn't be. Baywatch shouldn't be funny.
Jeff, you should have the live chat open. Jim Young's in there.
What's he saying?
Not gonna repeat these.
I don't even know how to open up the live chat.
All right. Anyway, Jeff, was that movie any good? Now I gotta know.
It was pretty good. I thought it was pretty funny. It had some pretty good scenes in it.
But it's a comedy.
The usual Baywatch stuff, yeah. It is a comedy, like with risque scenes.
I don't know if I've ever seen actual Baywatch ever. Like I get the joke, like I know what everything is referring to when somebody makes fun of it, but I don't think I've actually ever seen the real Baywatch.
It's just like a lot of hot people in it, okay? That's all it is. And it's pretty funny.
It's about like lifeguards, right?
Yeah.
Like saving people, except like it's really just about like hot dudes and ladies running on the beach.
But this one was pretty good. I mean, there's a cool plot involved. The usual plot.
John, this is what the show is, right? You said you watched a bunch of the show.
I mean, I say a bunch. I'm sure I still have dreams about some of the actresses that got their start back in Baywatch. I think she was one of them. Now you just get me thinking about these things, and that's just not good.
They got a model to play CJ.
Wait, so it's based on
because the original CJ would not be a good CJ anymore.
No.
They're
all stupid though. They make fun of them for being like not intelligent.
Point of this entire conversation is I'm gonna be really bummed out if either one of you go to Wonder Woman and didn't go to Power Rangers.
Okay, so I don't go see movies unless they're kids' movies. Like I already have tickets pre-bought for Cars 3.
I have to wait a year and 6 months to watch Power Rangers, right? To match Kubo and the Two Strings.
Seems fair. Seems legit. That seems
every week. I'm like, Dave, I saw a movie this week. Was it Power Rangers? No.
Here's the deal: I'll start telling you movies to watch, and you can watch the ones I tell you to.
Maybe we'll be doing that on the new show.
I'll be watching Garden State. Maybe. I want to watch Garden State. It sounds good.
Oh, you should watch Garden State. It's Jeff. It's a movie you'd enjoy.
Would it be? Is it good in French?
I hear the best way to watch it is in French.
I like how you were talking about French and then you try to mimic French and you spoke in Spanish, Dave.
I'm glad somebody caught that. I'm not going to Wonder Woman.
Show.
I don't care. I don't care who's.
I'll watch it.
No one's going to convince me to go to Wonder Woman.
Do you want to go to it together, Dave?
Dang it. We're going on a Tuesday then, though, right? Like, yeah. I'm not paying full price.
You just flip-flopped worse than any politician ever had. No one can convince me. Okay, if it's a Tuesday,
like he just said, "Dang it, he got my one weakness, my kryptonite."
Okay, so but
Tuesdays.
I had to go to Spider-Man, Thor Ragnarok, Star Wars. Like, at some point, there's got to be a cutoff of what I'll go see and what I won't.
I mean, I can start giving you some movies, and you can call them your cutoff because they're going to be terrible.
There's 20 movies in theaters right now that you haven't seen, Dave.
There's tons of movies I hadn't seen. But Wonder Woman's getting put on that list of ones I'm not going to see.
Except for you're going to see it with Jeff on a Tuesday.
Jeff's just gonna pull up beside my work. He's gonna be like, "I got tickets to Wonder Woman." You might have to buy my ticket. I think. I might not be able to do that.
Okay, I'll buy your ticket. No,
right.
Dave, I bought a ticket. You have to go, right?
God damn it. It's not gonna be that great.
So, what was the other big announcement?
The other big announcement is that Tom Holland, aka Peter Parker from the new Spider-Man movies, has been casted as young Nathan Drake in the Uncharted movie.
It's going to be terrible.
Wait, yep. The bigger question is, does that matter? Like, does it? Who cares? Who really cares?
Okay, so I want there to be a good video game movie. It's been something I've wanted for a really long time. I was hoping Ratchet and Clank would be a good movie. It's not.
It was the opposite of a good movie.
Yeah, it was almost the worst adaptation of a video game movie that had potential to be a decent movie.
On Netflix now.
Is it really?
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it soon.
Watch it with
this guy,
so it doesn't feel pointless, John. I'm serious.
Sure. Guy that you're mentioning that's playing Spider-Man is also gonna play young Nathan. Like, is he good at doing squats? Duck and cover and uncover and duck and cover and uncover with the best of them.
Yeah, he's pretty flexible. Like there's like a video of him like doing a backflip in a hotel room. Like he can just do it. So like but
Nathan
kind of
Drake
person,
never does a backflip.
Yeah, but he's gonna be good to like hang from stuff and swing and pull himself up and look good doing it.
So he's gonna be a good Spider-Man.
Yeah, he's gonna be a really good Spider-Man, and Nathan Drake. Nathan Drake also needs to be kind of okay at those things, and I think they've casted somebody who will do that job real well, I guess. Mm-hmm. I just don't have any faith in this movie being nearly as good as the storytelling that's within the games, to go back to Jeff's point of I like story-driven games. Is anybody excited for this Uncharted movie? I'm just curious.
I'm not looking forward to any video game movies.
Somebody said Assassin's Creed was actually okay.
No.
Yeah. I think it.
Was Pokemon a video game or an anime first?
Depends on where you lived.
Okay.
No, it was a video game and I think a card game and the anime, I believe.
Yes, but if you live in America, it was a cartoon first.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I don't know that you're right.
Look at these release dates, John.
Wow.
We got the cartoon first.
I don't think you are right.
I'm 90% sure I'm right. We got the cartoon in 98. We got the game in 99. This is the American release date, not in Japan. They got the game first.
Mm-hmm.
I would really, really hope this comes out to actually be good. There's potential to use the storytelling that is Uncharted to tell a really good movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't know if it can compete with like the likes of like Indiana Jones. Like it's probably going to come out the same year after tons of delays and BS. It'll come out the same year that Disney finally puts out an Indiana Jones movie.
Is Disney going to do that?
Eventually, yes, they bought the rights. They're going to do it. I don't remember when that's confirmed for, but it is confirmed for Indiana Jones 5. I think it's right. I don't want this. I don't really care, but I felt like it was important and relevant.
Yeah. So you watch Kubo and the Two Strings, Dave?
Yes, I watched Kubo and the Two Strings.
What'd you think of it?
I think it's creepy.
Wait. First, tell me your experience that you led to be able to watch this. I heard you're having problems just getting any Netflix.
Oh God! So I was hanging out on Skype. It was right after the Arms test punch, right?
Yeah.
And you say, Dave, if you watched John's movie and you didn't watch Kubo and the Two Strings, you're gonna be mad at me. Like legitimately mad.
Yeah, because here comes old Johnny, man of the internet. Tell him to watch a movie. Dave's like, okay, man. I'm gonna go and buy that movie immediately and watch it.
So I was like, you're right. I should not have bought and watched John's recommendation without watching Jeff's. Jeff's been my friend since we were 4 years old. I owe him to watch Kubo and the Two Strings as well.
But you don't owe me anymore.
Right. I'm still not going to watch Breaking Bad. I'm not going to lie to you. Because I hate all the characters and think they're all horrible, horrible people.
Yeah, I thought so too in season 2.
You don't think they're even more horrible people?
They don't get better.
No, they're terrible people in the end.
They're all terrible people, and they just continue to get worse. But anyway.
Johnny, has bad taste.
You didn't even watch Garden State. Watch Garden State.
I'm going to.
Okay.
So what do you think of Kuba on the 2 stairs?
I'm sitting there and I'm like, we just played ARMS. There's no reason my internet should be crappy. I boot up Netflix. Netflix won't load. I boot up the Apple TV. Netflix won't load. I boot up the PS4. Netflix won't load. Like, I'm like, Jeff, is Netflix down? Like, if Netflix is down, I have an excuse.
Yeah.
You're like, no, Netflix is working fine. I'm like, like, why won't it work on anything? I had to reset the router, right? I don't know why, but that fixed everything. Netflix works perfectly on my Apple TV like it always does. And I boot up this movie. They're going to blink once, blink now. If you haven't seen Cuba on the 2 Strings, spoiler alert, it's been out for a while, and I don't think it's that spoilery.
Mm-hmm.
No, it is, but it's not.
Alert, there's more than 2 strings.
Yeah, spoiler, there's more than 2 strings. Jeff, as much as I want to like this movie, there's a lot of things that felt weird and dark.
It's supposed to feel dark.
First of all, let me say I super appreciate the animation style.
Yeah.
I think overall the movie is incredible and gorgeous and stunning.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, as I think there's a lot of things that come off as really creepy that shouldn't be creepy.
Yeah.
Like
you realize like this is straight up like Japanese culture, right?
That's what I have to assume.
This isn't Ohio.
This isn't Cleveland, Ohio.
What's creepy about it?
I think the mother, spoiler, before she becomes the monkey, is too creepy.
Why is she too creepy?
She's sick.
Yeah. She's running from the Moon King, so every time I think it's when the sun comes up. Or yeah, I think when the sun comes up.
When the sun goes down, they can be seen unless they're hiding in this cave.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's the concept. She comes off as creepily animated, just the way her face looks, and like because of that, she feels like she's insane.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't believe her as a reliable narrator at first.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she's supposed to come across as being insane. Like you're supposed to get the feel that this woman has like a mental issue and that's what's causing everything.
Am I though? Because I seriously don't believe her in the beginning that he's in any danger when the sun goes down.
But you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
You're not. When the movie starts, you're supposed to believe that this is a guy who has a mom who something happened to, and she's lost her mind.
And she wants to keep
not true.
Close.
I'm supposed to not believe anything.
Yes. Everything.
You're supposed to like
until it reveals that her mother's name is Martha.
You have a mother named Martha too?
So
you thought it was creepy, and did you think the plot was cool? What did you think anything was good about it?
I think because it's a unique story, I enjoyed it a lot.
Like, what about like the fight with the giant skeleton, man? Isn't that pretty cool?
It's very cool animation. I love his ability to like magically affect paper and tell stories that way.
Yeah.
Like I think the magic is really cool.
Yeah.
But I was also like, it was very clearly that the monkey was his mom. Like from the beginning.
But what about the beetle?
Very clearly his father.
Yeah.
Because even his little paper mache versions of his father that he makes looked like the beetle.
Yeah, because that was the symbol of the master. I know.
What about the music?
The music was pretty cool.
Music is cool. It's different. It feels like it belongs in that story. I will say.
Dave, let me ask you this.
Okay.
The Earth is a large place. The United States is a small portion of it.
Uh-huh.
Worlds and cultures outside of the United States, right?
Yes.
That's it.
I wasn't American. I didn't like it.
No, I'd just be curious to see the lore behind this. Like, I'd actually like to read the fairy tale behind this story.
It's in Japanese. You can't read Japanese.
I feel like it might be better presented, though, in that form. Like, as a written novel, like, I think I might enjoy this story a little bit more. Like, I know it's an animated movie made for kids. I know that I'm meant to not believe that people have magic, but I feel like I could have enjoyed the concept of the world building that they were trying to do better in a written form.
It had great visual effects, though. You have to admit,
Yes.
like the way they did the animation style and everything, it's the most unique I've seen in a while.
Yeah, it doesn't look like anything else I've ever seen before.
Yeah.
The colors are gorgeous.
And I didn't expect at the end that they actually kill off both the parents.
Man, I really hope that no one is listening to this that wants to watch it later.
That's why I said
spoiler. Yeah, we talked about spoilers in the beginning. We're at the end of like the latter half of our show.
We always do this.
Yeah, no one make this far into the show, so you're good.
Yeah. They had a Beatles song in it.
Yes, they did in the credits. While My Guitar Gently Weeps, which I quite enjoyed the cover of.
Yeah.
They also show a very cool shot of the way they do the animation.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
It was just very, very cool to see.
I think I was very, very stunned by just how good the animation was. Like, could you imagine how long it took them to make that entire movie?
Oh, no, it's insane. It's an insane amount of production, but it's... I don't know if I love the story as much as I would like to. I feel like it's a lot of nonsense. And maybe people who are screaming at the top of their lungs saying this is amazing Japanese culture and one of the greatest fairy tales of all time that you haven't read, David. It's your own fault. But I just felt like I knew the monkey and the beetle were his parents. I don't really quite still understand what the grandfather wanted. And maybe this is me.
The grandfather wanted Kubo to join him as a god.
But why?
Because that's what gods do.
That's his place in life.
So Kubo, because he's magical and he's supposed to be a god, his grandfather wants him to be a god.
And take both of his eyes. Yes.
I also don't. It takes both of his eyes so that he is blind to the love of humanity. He can't look into other people's souls. Kind of like that idea. Right? It adds a bunch of emotional baggage to the idea of looking to somebody else's eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And ever so more sad that he only has one eye. I also don't really like how the village welcomed him as one of the nicest old men ever. Like, I don't really quite understand the purpose of that.
That's partly Japanese culture.
Is that what it is?
It's like a cultural difference, if you don't understand, I think. I mean...
Well, that's why I'd like to read the book version of it.
It's rooted down in Japanese culture that's like that.
So to say that a god did terrible things, right?
He's a completely different person, like yin and yang. Like, so that, like, he completely switched roles in yin and yang, and he became his good self.
So the moral
of the story, what?
The moral of the story is that everybody deserves a second chance?
Yeah. And you'd always take compassion. But only if you
can wipe their memory.
Yeah. Always take compassion on people.
Okay. I'm not saying I didn't like it. I liked it a lot. I'd like a book about the culture of this story. Like, I'd like to do research into like the actual explanations for a lot of these things.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to read the real fairy tale it's based on.
Mm-hmm.
But it was good.
Culture is a little bit different. Have you ever watched Miyazaki movie?
Yeah.
You can tell that there's cultural differences.
But those feel more like cultural difference, like fairy tales, than this feels more like Western style for I don't know why. Right?
Johnny,
But this feels like a Western animation studio went in, took a Japanese fairy tale and tried to translate it into a film for a Western audience. That's how this feels.
Or what if Miyazaki is the one that makes it like more like an American film, and they were the ones that kept it the most traditional Japanese?
Well, that's why I want to know more about it.
Yeah.
What are you going to say, John?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
Do you know the one person was the one that voiced the Moon King, Kubo's grandfather, the sisters, and Sarah. He voiced a couple different people.
Wait,
you having a hard time with his names?
I read it wrong. Never mind. I lied. Don't pay attention to me. So that's my bluff.
The sisters are really scary too.
Yeah, they are.
That's my last thing. They are overly creepy for what I thought was meant to be kind of a children's animated film. Like
Have you ever watched some children's animated films? Some of them are still creepy.
I felt this was really creepy though. Like on a whole nother level of creepy. Like this movie, I'm pretty sure it's PG.
Yeah.
But like I'd make sure it's PG-13. Like what
was creepy about to make it PG-13?
The sisters, dude.
Do women creep you out, Dave?
Yeah, apparently.
Dave. Johnny, what'd you think of the movie?
Yeah, John.
I really enjoyed it, but I also I have a high appreciation for like the Asian or Eastern cultures. I think would be maybe the PC way to say it. Mm-hmm. Like what I've spent a little bit of time here and there in Japan, and I mean I just don't get me wrong, walk around Tokyo and there's some weird stuff you'll see.
Yeah,
like, and I say weird like
it's different.
Weird compared to but I love the culture. I love the look of the stuff, the food, and all that stuff. And I love the music, and especially like the old school Japanese village type music. I love the way it made the stuff dance around and whatever. I really enjoyed it. I would agree with Dave. Like, it's not exactly a kid's movie. Like, I don't think kids will. And my wife had kind of the same question you did, Dave, about like the end of it, like why people being like, oh, whatever, with this old man. And sure, it's awkward and it's a little bit weird. It'd just be a cultural thing.
I'm sure it is. I just like to know the actual like cultural significance behind all that. Like, I think I would have enjoyed it more. I also think it may have strived a little bit better if it tried not to be a kid's movie at all. Right? Like just kind of went full out with that. Tell that story the way it's meant to be and let it be scary. Because I think it's scary enough. Like don't hold back. And I think
Dave,
parts of it they held back.
Lights off?
I didn't
do
know.
The lights off? No.
No, it was the middle of the day. There's sun shining everywhere. I ate a burrito while I watched it.
What? Do you have nightmares, Dave, about the sisters? Like you're laying down. Dave.
Did they ever come out of the burrito in your dreams?
I think.
How long did it take you to eat that burrito?
I think they're a little too scary for what I expected. Not for me. Like, I can handle it. Like, I'm an adult. I'm a grown man. But I don't think I would.
Do you see what kids watch these days? You're a grown man.
Yeah. No, I get it.
What's the Johnny off?
Because I said I'm a grown man.
I know I don't have the most masculine radio voice in the world, but okay, fine.
It's a good movie. Everybody should see it. I don't think it's going to blow anybody's mind. I don't think it's the pinnacle of animation, but I think it's a very good movie and should be.
What's the pinnacle of animation?
Toy Story.
Okay, let's talk Toy Story for half a second. Or is coming out at some point, right? Like that's been announced. Toy Story 1. Trilogy. Toy Story 1 was good at times, right? Toy Story 2 got depressing. Toy Story 3 got really depressing. By the time Toy Story 4 comes out, nooses or shotguns or something are going to come with your movie ticket so you can off yourself in the middle of the movie. It's going to be that depressing.
So you thought you didn't think do you think Toy Story 3 is a kids movie type, Dave? Where they almost just get all killed by an incinerator?
I think there's enough moments.
They're just sitting there accepting death. A fiery death.
I think there's but see that's where I think Toy Story 3 succeeded better than Cubo and the Two Strings. Because I think there's enough moments and things in Toy Story 3 that are enjoyable for kids and adults. I think Toy Story 3 is a movie that's better for adults than it is for kids, but I also think there's moments of humor and enjoyment, like Buzz's Spanish mode
too.
I don't know if they're as good.
Like the beginning where he's telling the story with the stick figures and fire-breathing chicken.
Yeah, but then shortly after, we're gonna go into where his insane mother told him to not be out in the moonlight, and then these scary eyeless sisters are gonna swoop in from the darkness and come after him, trying to steal his eyeball.
What about the beginning of Toy Story 3, where Andy no longer wanted to play with them, and they were all sad and depressed in their toy box?
Then you're making Barbie jokes with the little sister.
And then Kubo made those jokes with like the mosquitoes biting the monkey, and then the boat that Kubo made. That was pretty funny. Like there are humorous movie lines within the movie.
View this from a parenting perspective.
Okay, this is important.
As a parent, you want to keep your kids safe, which means they should not be running around after dark outside, far from the house. So the story is, don't be out after dark. He's about, right?
That's interesting to say that.
Yeah, see? And then after the movie, like, go your kid. See, that's what happens when you go out after dark. Both your parents die. And you get a new grandfather.
Both your parents are gonna die, and your evil aunts are gonna come and try to steal your eyes. Your eye. Your last remaining eye.
Yeah.
God, how scary would that be?
I've already taken out each of my kids' eyes to make sure that they know this is happening.
All right. It's time for Jeff's character of the week.
Okay.
He's like, I'm not
while he looks this up, we'll let Jeff tell us about why things happen.
Loves them, but God would love them a whole lot more if they stopped sodomizing each other.
That's a good book.
From the book of Jeff.
No, Sean, that book. I'm gonna order that one day. People say it's a really good coffee table book.
What one?
The book of Jeff and Sodomy?
No. What's the actual book called? It's like Stanley and his two daddies.
And his two daddies.
There is a kid's book that's all about like teaching your kid, hey, you're divorced and now you're bringing home men. And it is something like that. Like Daddy, it's called like Daddy Has a New Friend. Bookstores.
That seems extremely uncomfortable.
I mean, but you got to think if that's the situation, you got to worry. And otherwise, what's going to happen is the story's going to change to where the evil ants want to take your eyes out because of this. If you're out past midnight, I mean, it's all the same story.
I have one.
All right. Although you're supposed to let John pick a letter, but
John, pick a letter.
He gets a good one, apparently.
John, pick a letter that starts with S.
I would like to choose the letter S.
I have a perfect one for S.
All right.
Sorry, I was just looking through it. I just read this one. It was pretty funny. Fred Sloan. Fred Sloan. He looks like He-Man a little bit, doesn't he? Look like He-Man?
Man.
Oh yeah. Have you ever seen that video like hey yeah on YouTube? Used to be a big thing for a while.
No.
I
Are
said,
you talking
hey,
about the Four Non-Blondes?
what's going on? I said, hey yeah. It was a big video for a while. The video is like linked to everything.
I have no idea what we're talking about right now.
Did you know that Toy Story 3 album got to number 8 on Mexican Top 100 Mexico albums? And a position?
Is this another one of these moments, Jeff, where you say, "Oh no, I read that wrong. Forget what I'm saying."
No, this is real. This is real.
That's funny.
Okay, first appearance for Fred Sloan is Incredible Hulk number 231. His real name is Frederick Sloan.
That's a good disguise name.
He's an author and his base is unrevealed. His height and weight is unrevealed as well. Special powers abilities. Fred Sloan possesses no superhuman powers save a peculiar why can't I say that word now? Peculiarly positive outlook on life.
How did this guy make the book?
Possesses the strength and endurance of an average man. Right? That's a special power and ability, right? Possesses the strength and endurance of an average. It's an average man that has a decent outlook on life.
Wow.
He's just sitting there.
overly
He gets run
positive
over by a
outlook.
car. He's like, well, at least I'm still alive.
Oh my god.
A man with extraordinarily positivity.
Yeah.
Sounds like me. I love everything.
No, you don't, Dave. You hate half of everything and you love half of everything. What Fred Sloan first encountered the Incredible Hulk while he was being thrown bodily out of a bar. He's being thrown out of a bar and he encountered the Incredible Hulk. The childlike Hulk.
So the Hulk was just standing outside of the bar?
Somehow. And he got thrown, and Fred Sloan got thrown out of a bar and met the Hulk. That's
Did you let the Hulk in your bar?
Well, the Hulk was outside the bar, right?
I think I would, for my own safety, if the Hulk wanted to come in my bar, I would allow it to happen.
Yeah, can you imagine how much he would drink, man? You'd make a fortune.
Can you imagine how much destruction would occur if you don't let him in?
You can't throw him bodily out of a bar. He possesses not the strength and endurance of an average man. He possesses the strength and endurance of an above average man. The Hulk does. You can throw an average man out of a bar. You can't throw the Hulk out of a bar.
Oh my god.
Fred Sloan, averagely normal dude with unrevealed information and overly positive.
The childlike Hulk interceded on the Drifter's behalf, and the two became fast friends.
All right.
The
Best
childlike Hulk? What's the childlike Hulk? When was it Hulk childlike?
Well, maybe that episode of the Hulk was when he was young.
Except that the Hulk is an experiment. Comic books. Let's not fight about.
Sloan helps the Hulk to elude the authorities, and the two travel together for a time. Man, can you just imagine, like, the Hulk was like, I am the Hulk, and this is Fred.
It's weird that it's the Hulk and not, like, Bruce Banner, too.
Yeah.
Like, that's odd. It's also weird that there's a child Hulk. That I had no idea.
Childlike. You'll be an adult, but childlike.
What does that even mean?
Childlike. Sloan helped the Hulk to elude the authorities. I read that. Eventually, they encountered Wood God and his band of similarly human-animal hybrids known as the Changelings, and Sloan decided to remain with them. What?
This is the worst character you've ever found.
They ran into Wood God, and he had human-animal hybrids known as the Changelings. And Fred's like, yeah, I'm going to stay with them for a bit.
I'm going to join this obscure group of people who nobody knows anything about so that I can become even more obscure of a character than I ever was before, because the only thing I've got going on for me is an overwhelming amount of positivity.
Here's how he gets his special powers. This next sentence. In time, he wrote a book entitled Hulk Encounter, A Survivor Story, which painted the green behemoth in an unusually positive light. That's the last sentence. That's all he's significant for.
Well, he's an unusually positive guy, so.
John, you understand that there is no point to pick a good character out of this book, right?
No. I get it, but wow, like, find a more worthless person to put in a book than this guy. The next character you're gonna find is like man Hulk past leaning against a street lamp. I mean, like that's gonna be his character.
No, man who met this guy.
Oh,
the
yeah.
The next character is the guy
Why
that
is this
proves
guy
it.
Wood God. Wood God.
Fred Sloan knew him. That's why he's famous.
Fred Sloan painted him in a positive light.
Joining the obscure group that no one knew existed nor cared about.
Yeah,
that's right.
Wood God is in this book. He is in this book. Oh my gosh. He is half bulk leprechaun, like a leprechaun, like red hair, like 20-pack abs, and is a fawn.
So he looks like me.
The buffest fawn I've ever looked at.
Just like you, Dave. Just like you.
Me and my 20.
He has a very specific power. He possesses superhuman strength and immunity to nerve gas. Just nerve gas, nothing else. He's only immune to nerve gas.
He's gonna be your best friend.
Oh my gosh. Wow, I don't know what to say anymore.
That's the end of our show. That is all. Thanks for listening to Character Crunch episode 154, supported by our patron Josh Miller.
Oh man, we could talk about Wong.
For as little as $1 a month, you can make this show possible and make Jeff pick out even more stupid characters out of his book, where he can say that his name is the same as our guest, John. I don't know if it's even possible, but if there's people listening to this show who don't know where to find you, you let them know.
Yeah, you can find me at Johnny_Casino.
Are those your kittens?
No. There are no kittens at my house anymore. You can me on podcasts at you can on Monday you can find me on a show called Forget Being Cool,
coming soon, as well as the existing Shelved and Forgotten and the Generational Gamers podcast with your butler and mine, Ben Butler.
Yay, my butler.
He's your butler. He's not mine.
What about your butt?
Huh?
I don't know.
Everybody, thanks for listening.
This
you can
has
follow
been a
Jeff.
train rock from start to finish.
You can follow Jeff at Jeffrey Daily, the show Character Crunch. You guys can like the show on Facebook at facebook.com/Character Crunch, where Jim Young is posting hilarious things like that amazing Japanese dub from Google Translate of the epic Star Wars battle. Ooh, there's actually some really cool stuff over there. Go check that out. And me at Dacespace. It's DACESPAC. Dacespace.com is where the show is hosted. And we'll see you guys next week.
Do you know that like ridiculous laughing in Final Fantasy X?
Yes.
Do you think that's dubbed over in any other language to make it more ridiculous?
No, but we should find out. So for next week, Final Fantasy X, laughter tracks from all the different regions. We'll see you guys next week for another episode of fun-filled, action-packed adventure on Character Crunch. That was a show.